making plates to block off where the radiator is going to go. Alright, so what we're doing right now is we're plating off right here for Savio's radiator, and these two little circles right here, what we're going to do is we're going to drill holes in it because his radiator has pins, you know, posts that'll actually sit in there. So I'm going to finish weld all this, close this all off, make it nice and rigid for him, and then we're going to plate everything with aluminum to make it nice and clean. So I'm just going to finish weld all these, put some structure back into the back of the car, close this off, and then we're going to mount our radiator, and I'm going to mount the shroud from this going down to the radiator on each side this way, and then we're going to plate off the top. The radiator can actually sit down in this way through it, where the cap sits right up here at the very top, so it's a nice high point. We're going to take and we cut this out too for the radiator, the bottom part of the radiator to shoot out. Left room for the radiator hoses to run up to the front, as well as the fuel lines as well, which we're getting from Grassroots. I'm going to plate off the back of here, plate off here, and then we're going to end up shrouding the whole thing for the radiator, where the shroud comes straight down onto here, and then the sides come down, blocking off the cab. We're also going to put a plate on the inside there to block off the back seat as well, just to make it nice and clean. Probably won't get to all of it though. I'm going to get the radiator mounted today, get everything set up so Chris can actually come in and plan out where he wants his lines to run. It's really nice when you can work hand in hand with the mechanic. So I'm going to do that section first, mount everything up, make sure that he can actually see where his lines are going to go before I cover it up and make it all pretty. Then tomorrow we're going to take and make the fuel cell cradle and mount the fuel cell. We're going to put the battery over here. We're going to surge tank right here, and then all of our inline filter and fuel pumps stacked right there next to it. And then the fuel cell is going to be right where I'm sitting. So it's going to look really sweet. And then I have to fix his bash bar on this side, because he ended up hitting Duarte and bending it, so I cut it out. As you can see, I still got to do some grindage right here. But locks, if you come over on this side, we got everything grinded off, and on the inside and here too. So everything's going to be nice and smooth again. And start from scratch. She loves her Uncle Chris.
I see you got that cardboard assisted
CAD-board.
development.
Cardboard aided design. CAD-board.
CAD-board.
CAD-board. You gotta use your mass accent with it. You gotta take all your I's and make it an A.
Had it.
Had it. Had it. Now go park the cat, have it yad. All right, so Loxley brought up a good point. He asked me what I use in my TIG welder for tungsten. And I told him it's just straight tungsten, but then he wanted to know the properties of it. So I use serrated, which is the purple tip. And all of them have different colors. Serrated is purple, thoriated is red, there's another one that's green, there's another one that's yellow. I don't remember all the different kinds. But the serrated tip, or tungsten, actually allows you to weld aluminum, stainless steel, mild steel, and I believe you can even do titanium with it. But we don't do any titanium here. We're too used to banging stuff up. So, but this is the best one to use. It's all around. You can go from aluminum to steel. Just make sure you don't have anything on the tip of your tungsten, otherwise it'll arc out the wrong way. So always clean your tip. And when you're grinding it, grind it with the lines going straight down so it funnels the electrode.
Yep. Sweet.
Purple ones, get the purples.
I'm Chris, lead mechanic here at Drift HQ, and we're going to go over some of the parts we're putting into Savio's new engine build for the 408 stroker. The whole bottom end and everything was already assembled by TEC beforehand, so luckily I don't have to touch any of that. Everything's been blueprinted, balanced, gapped, ringed, everything like that. Over here on the table we have a custom ground cam from Texas Speed, similar to their stage 3 cam, just a little bit more aggressive to compensate for the extra compression that we're going to be running with this, which is going to be about 11.8 to 1. Also a slightly thicker head gasket so we don't run any piston and valve clearance issues since we just machined the heads and everything again. This is the Canton Racing front sump pickup that's going to go into that pan there. They already come baffled, zinc coated and all that stuff. A few of these parts we're reusing from his old setup, such as the pan and obviously the timing covers and a few things like that. We got brand new slow bleed lifters from Texas Speed as well as new lifter trays. We have a Melling high volume, high pressure oil pump. And we have a brand new timing set here, which is an awesome setup that comes from Rollmaster. Has a roller on the back for the camshaft so you don't run any clearance issues with your cam cover plate in the front, which is nice. And then also the lower gear is adjustable. We're going to be running it at 0, but it's nice to have the adjustment for certain types of cams and different applications.
Perfect.
On a cam on your LS, obviously you want to use plenty of lubricant. Some cams have different break-in procedures, but obviously it's different when you're installing a cam outside of your motor as opposed to when it's in your car. So a lot of the times what people prefer to do is to pull all the lifters out and pull the heads off and everything, because if you pull the cam out of the motor, sometimes the lifters can slip and drop into your oil pan, then you got a whole different set of problems. So they actually make special tools that you can slip into these holes right here, and they'll hold the lifters in place and let you pull the cam out without losing any lifters. But other than that, it's very straightforward installation. In a second, we're going to show you how to set your cam timing as well.
Want to show those lifters again?
Those lifters?
Oh, the holes where you put the tool in.
These holes right here. It's going to be a long rod that sticks inside there. It's kind of oval shaped, and what you do is you twist them sideways and it holds the lifters up out of the way. We set the cam timing up on the motor now. It's really easy to set the cam timing on an LS because it's a cam and block motor. So basically all you gotta do is right here, normally there's a dot, but on this one, because it's adjustable, it would be our 0. And we line that up with the dot here, so both of these teeth are sitting straight. That's it. Cool. I'm gonna take this here assembly lube, and we just gonna squeeze it up in there real nice and deep like. A lot of these pumps come lubricated already, but it does help. I'm putting a little bit of silicone on the corner of where your timing cover gasket meets your oil pan gasket, because they tend to leak right there. So I'm going to put the windage tray onto the motor, as well as put the Canton pan on there. Last thing I'm doing for today.
So explain what you had to fix.
Well, we have the new ARP main studs, which have a thicker base, so we had to drill out the holes on our windage tray just a little bit to make everything fit right. And it looks like our crankshaft clears, which is nice. It does help. Right here, it's very important. Everybody seems to forget it. Cause loss of oil pressure, cause all kinds of problems with the LS. So make sure before you slip your pickup tube in, first of all, your pickup tube's clean, and also that you got that O-ring in place. Bam. gonna put the pan on yet because before we start, I wanna prime the engine with oil. Best way to do that is just to pour oil right down your pickup tube and rotate your motor so everything in the motor gets circulated so you don't dry start the first time starting a freshly built motor. While there's a lot of assembly lube and stuff like that in there, but it'll all get washed out before you can even get the car started. So these are the Texas Speed slow bleed lifters, putting into the new lifter trays we got. Just because when his motor blew up, we had a bunch of metal shavings and stuff circulating. We try to replace everything that holds oil inside the engine. So these slide in right in there, and they ride on the camshaft, just like that.
Don't you love LSs?
I love LSs. So that's it for today, guys. We got the lifters installed, oil pump, and all of our timing accessories and everything put together. We're gonna finish putting the rest of it together tomorrow, torque the heads down, as well as getting the oil pan and everything situated. So if you have any questions or anything, contact us at sales@DriftHQ. We can help you out with your parts or your LS build. Other than that, like, subscribe, leave a comment, let us know what you think about the build.